We do have some weapons now for Michael Penix Jr., and it's good to hear players talk about other players. Here's Bijan Robinson talking about a guy I was asking last week, did he have his breakout season last year, or is it to come? Talking about a big wide receiver in Drake London.
You know, Drake's the nicest guy, but then when he gets on the field, like, man, he turns different. You would think that if he's 6'5", like he lacks in athleticism, but no, he knows how to create angles and find his spots. His big jump was, you know, just him being a leader, him being a competitor, and him knowing that he's better than the guy across from him.
The dark place that Raheem Morris says that Drake London goes to on the football field, where clearly there's a glazing over of his eye, and he turns into another dude when he is in game mode.
No, it's fun to listen to his teammates talk about him like that. His head coach did it previously, and now Bijan talk about it. It's all based off of the top 100 list.
Right. And
they interviewed different guys about, I think, was Drake London 97?
I think so.
And then
Jessie Bates was 91 or 92.
92, yeah. So those guys are talking about them and how good they are. But when your teammates talk about you a certain way, it feels good. But to a man now, multiple guys have come out and said, that dude, it was almost like Harry Douglas, who seems like the sweetest guy in the world, right? When you work with him on ESPN and he joins us here in studio, except when he talks bad about me. When he put on his helmet, dude, and I like to think I was the same way, you have to have like a flip of a switch. And so you got to go dark, especially if you want to be taken seriously and be physical in the run game and just like moss dudes all the time.
You got to be a little bit of a crazy person to play football. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And especially at wide receiver, because you may not be as big as some of the other guys, especially for a guy like Harry. What was Harry? 6'1" and 180 pounds? 6
Harry's
foot?
not 6'1", yeah.
Well, maybe with a flat top, he was 6'1". You know, but point being, he played like 180 pounds. You got to be a maniac to run out there and 1-2-1, go catch the ball and get hit, and then come back in the run game. Drake London is different. He's a bigger guy than a lot of people that are covering him. I wish we had more dogs like him, especially on the defensive side. And that's what we're hoping, that Jalen Walker and James Pierce and guys like that become those dudes.
Diablo.
Yeah.
I wish if you took the spirit of Drake London and transferred that into Kyle Pitts, who's taller and bigger, if you have the glazing over of the eyes and he's trying to shove and push and catch balls over folks and talk to them after he gets the first down, that would make him, and I think the offense, a little bit more potent. Here is Chris Lindstrom. When you have an offensive lineman talking about a wide receiver, you like to hear what he has to say because he does the blocking that gets him open.
As an O-lineman, you know, if you're given, you know, the quarterback enough time that he's going to be able to find Drake and make a play. In the run game, he's going in there, throwing his hat in there, and, you know, he blocks probably better than any receiver in the NFL. The edge that he plays with is so unique, and it's so fun to be around. He has an intensity about him that he's going out there to be the best. He's the ultimate competitor.
He is, and he likes to be aggressive out on the football field, and that's what you want from an offensive player. So, again, we keep talking about it. You know, Michael Penix Jr., he starts his first full season with some veterans. Bijan Robinson been out there for a few years. Drake London been out there for a few years. He's got a veteran in Chris Lindstrom leading the way on the offensive line, and he comes into a situation where, you know, a lot of young quarterbacks, they come into bad teams that have bad setups, and this is not a bad setup for a guy going for it. His first 17 games of a season. Justin Simmons talking about what Jessie Bates means. He has come in and he has earned every dollar he has been paid. And Justin Simmons talks about what makes Jessie Bates so potent.
I think what makes him truly special is his ability, obviously, to go get interceptions, but his forced fumbles. He's not just making a tackle. He's punching first.
John Abraham thought like that. I want to hit the quarterback, but I'm also karate chopping his arm to try to get the sack.
It always makes me nervous when I watch these guys karate chop and punch before they just wrap up and tackle. It used to be the first guy's got to wrap up, and secure the tackle. The second guy in, once that's done, can start punching at the football and trying to rip it out of there. But it's become one of these things where these guys come in with like a punch,
right,
and hope to hit the ball. And I guess they have
a peanut punch.
Yeah, but it's Peanut Tillman was more
violent, maybe
secure about it, like secure about the tackle and then punching. But he did start it. You're right. There's no question about it. It's fun to watch these guys, but he does have a knack for the football. Only guy in football last year in the NFL, I believe, with at least 4 interceptions and 4 forced fumbles. So there is something about it. Sure, kind of handed tackler as well, and just a quarterback of that defense. So he comes in at number 92, does Jessie Bates.
Yeah, we're going to get 2 more. It's just a matter of how high will they both be. Mm-hmm. If I had to guess, Bijan's probably in the 60s.
I think you're downplaying that one a little bit.
Maybe a little higher?
I think he just got voted
4th best running back?
Yeah, 4th best running back in the league behind Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then Bijan Robinson.
Interesting that Jahmyr Gibbs is above because they went the same draft, just a couple of picks apart. Boy, that's tough. Mm-hmm. I'd probably have Bijan higher because he's the true every down number 1. Although I don't want to downplay what Tyler Allgeier does as well, but that's not a bad draft class. When it comes to those 2 guys.
He had more rushing yards than Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr was more of he averaged 6.4 yards per touch last year.
Okay.
Highest mark by any player with at least 250 touches in a season over the past decade. 6.4 yards per touch. So he got it done, and he got it done in a big way. But they also had David Montgomery there.
Right.
We have Tyler Allgeier, but we didn't really use Tyler like I thought we should have. We had Michael Turner in here a couple weeks ago, and he wants to see more Tyler Allgeier because he's a guy that can really not only give Bijan a little bit of rest, but you're not going to miss a beat with Tyler in there doing his thing. It
might be a situation where if Bijan is not the best running back in football, the Falcons still may have the best tandem in football, which ultimately is the same kind of damage that you're looking to do. And Tyler Allgeier, he is just a fire hydrant when you try to drag him down, and he rarely goes backwards. So he's also on the final year of his deal, so he's in a situation where he wants the ball out.
Tyler is, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe he certainly won't get as many carries, but maybe the touchdowns in the red zone might be something.
Speaking of the carries, 365 touches last year, second in all of football behind Saquon Barkley for Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Does he need that kind of touches again, or can you take 60 or 70 away?
Yeah, I think Tyler Allgeier can get more. I guess the fear doesn't matter. This is the last year Tyler Allgeier is going to be here.
Yes.
He's going to get paid somewhere else and go be a starting running back.
You run him until his innards bleed.
Yeah, but how do you take the ball out of Bijan's hands?
Yeah, that's the issue. He had 14, almost 1,500 yards. The only people who had more rushing yards than Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, and Saquon Barkley.
Right.
He is an elite running back. So you throw in with Tyler Allgeier, you have an elite running back tandem for the Atlanta Falcons.